In our latest video, we're taking a look at Amad Diallo, and it might seem like it's a bit of a strange decision to analyse him, because over the last season he only played a small amount of games, didn't get many goals or assists, but recently Erik ten Hag has said that we have to see Amad in a different way. He's young but he's experienced. At the end of last season he had a very good time, and this has to be his year. So Amad is no longer a player that's just a talent. At the start of the last season that was different though. It looked like he was a talent who could potentially get some game time here and there, but United had Antony, Garnacho who could play on the right wing, Marcus Rashford could even step across there when needed as well, and we're also forgetting about Jadon Sancho. So for Amad he was almost fifth in the priority, and it took him a long time to make his first start against Arsenal in May. But this pre-season, he's really looked more than a top talent, and it looks like he could be ready to start for Man United. He scored a curling left-footed finish against Rangers after cutting inside, and a powerful half volley on the shoelaces against Real Betis. And it showcased his goal scoring ability. It's looked like he's really confident at the moment. And if you take a look at Amad Diallo over the last couple of seasons, with his goals while he's on loan at Sunderland and his two at Man United this year, you can see that he's a real goal scoring threat, especially from that right wing cutting onto his left foot. So he's a player that could bring a lot to Man United, and potentially more than what Antony has done. He doesn't necessarily have the pace to beat the opposition on the outside and drive towards goal, but he's got the technical ability to make quality switches to change the point of attack. But in addition to that, he's effective at the cutting inside and playing penetrating diagonal passes between defenders to release the attacker through on goal. And from his 12 games last season, two stats stood out for me. His short pass completion is quite high, and he takes a large number of them. Plus he takes a good number of touches in the opposition's penalty area. And I feel that a good player to compare against is Chelsea's Cole Palmer. Now obviously Cole Palmer is of a higher level than Diallo and an absolutely elite level player. But in these two areas, Diallo has more success than Palmer, which shows that Diallo is brilliant in small, tight, confined spaces, good at completing short passes and moving into space, and gets into positions where he creates. But to be really top, he needs to be creating the amount of chances similar to Cole Palmer. So he's got a bit of work to do. But you can see that there are encouraging signs and that Diallo could potentially be a real benefit to Manchester United. And these stats show that Diallo, especially against teams that play in the low block, can be effective. His short passing ability allows him to keep the ball in tight areas and to receive the ball in a position where he's facing the goal. He can combine with advanced players and get into a position where he can play 1-2s and receive the ball again outside the area or just inside the area with good movement. And in this forward-facing position, he can do then effective things. He can switch the play and then potentially make incisive passes forward into the striker. These combinations and these abilities and opportunities are there, all because of his short pass and his movement off the ball, so he can get in a position where he can face goal. But something that really stands out for me with Diallo is his ability when he's receiving the ball with his back to goal. Defenders can come and press tight and try and force him away from the goal, but he's got the ability to drop his shoulder one way, to cause the defender to follow him, and then quickly spin and turn to get away from them. He can manipulate the defender with his body movement, and that allows him to get the ball when he's facing away from the goal, spin and face the goal once again. And this allows him to operate in the half space a little bit more, which can help Manchester United. He can receive the ball with his back to goal and link up and play with the attacking midfielders and forwards. But by dropping into the half space, he creates space for overlapping fullbacks like Diogo Dalot. And this gives Manchester United opportunities. But in addition to that, he can combine with the attackers by turning and facing the goal and again get close to the penalty area. And for Manchester United, they've had struggles with Antony and Jadon Sancho, but Amad Diallo could potentially step in and start to take more importance on that right wing. He might need more goals and assists over a longer period of games, but he could potentially be a solution to Manchester United's right-wing problems. I think it's evident to see that Erik ten Hag is starting to believe in Amad and actually see him as a potential starter. So could he be a key part of Manchester United's vibrant forward line?